After I was arrested and after I pleaded guilty to the 12 felonies that I committed, there were two things we had to consider. The first was the statutory range for each crime, and the second was the sentencing guidelines, because they're two very different things. As an example, two of the charges I pleaded guilty to pursuant to the robbery each carried 20 to life, but its sentencing guidelines probably would have called for 2 or 3 years each. Because the statutory range is the minimum and the maximum that a judge can impose before suspending time, but the sentencing guidelines are based on previous sentences. So basically, they take all the relevant data for people who were sentenced for the same crime over the past years, then they come up with a low point, a midpoint, and a high point, all based on averages. But of course, as my case shows, the judge doesn't have to follow the sentencing guidelines at all. He just has to remain within the statutory range. But there were even problems with the sentencing guidelines, especially around the time that Virginia abolished parole in 1995, because the sentencing structures were so different. Because under the old parole system, someone who received a 60-year sentence for a first-time offense could be eligible and be out after 10 years, but under the new system, they'd have to serve more than 50 years.